Let me fix my green screen real quick. That's the best it's gonna get. Y'all don't pay attention to my green screen, okay? It's a hot mess today. Let's try to pull that camera down. See if that helps. I think that helped a little bit, right, y'all? All right, can y'all hear us? We live, y'all. Can y'all hear me? Hit a comment. Go in the comment. I see some y'all already in here. I see some on Facebook. I see some on YouTube. We also streaming on Debate Talk for You. So y'all go ahead and go to Debate Talk for You. Great platforms for great discussions. Yay, you can hear me. Thank you, Paul. Thank you for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so excited. We have our special guest coming back, High Value Hebrew. Brother Reed, he's going to be coming in. And he's here on popular demand because he was here last week and we were talking about high value man versus high value Hebrew. I have personally never heard of high value Hebrew, and the way he broke it down, I was stunned. So you guys make sure y'all go ahead, go to that other video on my platform and check him out on high value Hebrew. Your mind will be open because mine was. I was like, what? Because I've always had an issue with the whole Kevin Samuels idea of high value man. So for me, it was like, it was lacking. But with high value Hebrew, I feel like it really hits all the points that it needs to hit, that at least women are looking for. So thank you guys for coming. Everybody that's in here, please, you guys, can y'all share it? Do me a favor, hit the like, hit the share, help the channel grow. We got 1,360 subscribers in about 4 months. By the end of this summer, I want 5,000. I know that's a lot. People told me, no, that's too big. Don't do it. You tripping. I'm not tripping. That's what I want. And I know with y'all help, I can get it. So please share, like, and let's get it out there. With no further ado, with no more, let's bring in Brother Reed. All right, all right, all right. Let's see if we can hear him. Oh, yeah, we can hear him. All right. Hey, how you doing? You back for round two?
I'm back. I guess I'm a glutton for punishment. I'm back.
Because it got heated up last time.
A little bit.
It was fun. I enjoyed it. And a lot of people were like, you got to bring them back. You got to bring them back. So we knew we had to bring you back. And we're going to keep on bringing you as long as you want to be here, as long as the people want to hear from you. I don't care. I want to hear from you. You're coming back. Okay. Now, before we get into the show, no problem. Before we get into the show, I want everyone to know that our high value Hebrew is out of the country. So it may be times where he may drop, or it may be a delay or something like that. Let's just be patient. Let's work with him because, you know, he is outside of the country and his Wi-Fi is a little wonky. So it may happen. Let's just pray it don't happen. But if it does, if you hear a delay or if he drops, he'll come right back. Don't you worry. Okay. He's not leaving us tonight for 2 hours. Okay. Secondly, I want to just jump right into it. We're not going to talk about the passport bros and the modern women yet. We're going to go right into what we were talking about last week, which is high value man versus high value woman. And for everyone who knows, we're going to be doing this for about 45 minutes to an hour, and then we're going to hit the link in the chat. You guys can ask any questions, give any comments live right here on Let's Talk Podcast, and ask this brother any questions that you have. So with that being said, Robert Reed, let's do a little replay on last week's show.
Okay, sounds good. Where do you want to? I had an idea, but where do you want to start?
It's a lot, man. The floor is yours. It's a lot. Okay. The floor is yours.
All right. Well, there was one big question, and I'm sure you may agree that this was one of the bigger questions in the last show, and that question was, how can a man complain about the high body count and they're contributing to it? Remember that one?
Yes, that was a big one.
Okay, so that was a big one. Now, it got everybody kind of was getting in on it or whatever, but I didn't quite give a clear answer. Okay, so I want to go ahead and take this opportunity to go ahead and answer and give a little bit of clarity. Now, if we look at some of the facts, data, statistics that are out there, then I had to disagree with the premise of the question. Now, the reason why I disagree with the premise of the question is that when we go ahead and add in some facts and stats and data into it, if we look at right now, men between 18 and 30 are either virgins or haven't had sex in the past year.
I didn't know.
And
that.
If we look at, right, exactly. And some of these studies, not studies, let me just put it out there right now. So people are like, okay, well, where's you? Okay, CDC, blackdemographics.com, and some university studies. Okay, some university studies from Ivy League. So this is something that is not secret information. This is something anyone can Google. Okay, so it's no big deal. But this is what the information is saying. Okay, that men between 18 and 30 right now are either haven't had sex in a year or they're virgins. Okay, so they're not contributing. Okay, then you have men who are single and childless. 51 to 52% are single and childless right now. Okay, so they're not contributing. Then you have the other 31% that are married with children. So they're not contributing, which leaves only about 16 to 18% of men who are sleeping with the other 80% of women. Is 16% of men who are responsible for baby mamas out there, if you will. So the men are not largely contributing to this whole high body count thing. It's the large majority of women converging in on the same men. And the evidence of that is that we look at the stats from dating apps, your Tindles and Bumbles and all these other dating apps or whatever, that the women, when they swipe right or choose a guy, it's only 20% of the men that get all the likes on these dating apps. And that's all of them. All of them, the numbers coalesce to the same thing. They converge in on the same guys. So the guys, so the men are not contributing to the high body count. Now, in the last show, I was focusing on, well, it's up to a woman to say yes. And you remember, I was saying, okay, well, women hold the keys to sex, men hold the keys to marriage, right? And so that's the point that I was trying to make, because I wanted to go down that road, but the point wasn't being made in my estimation. So I said, you know what, let me just go ahead and just give the data. No, men are not contributing to that high body count. It is it's the women who are converging in on the exact same guys. Because when you think about it, you've seen countless street interviews, sitting on talk shows and podcasts and stuff. Women typically describe the same guy. That's why you have this prototypical, 6 feet, 6 figures, so on and so forth. Because they pretty much want the same guy. So they converge in on the same guy, a guy who has options. Okay, so they're either going to converge in on this high value guy, or they're going to converge in on poor guy from last week, the Pookie and Ray Ray. Sorry, so they're going to converge in on Ray Ray. They're going to converge in on either Ray Ray, Pookie and Ray Ray going to either get in there and make baby mamas, or you're going to get, because think about it. Think about celebrities. Think about Nick Cannon. Think about DMX. He had like 9 different, children, baby mamas, or whatever, right? Think about all these high value people. They have a lot of children. I'm not knocking them for it, but we're just looking at the reality. We're looking at the reality. The women are converging in on the same guys. So I have to say that no, for the most part, men, no, not contributing to your high body count. You contribute to your high body count. You are the one who say, yes, you can sleep with me. Yes, you can have access to my womb, or no. Okay. A guy can ask, but it's up to the woman to say yes. Okay. And that's why I was telling the other guests from last week, I was kind of slow walking it, and I was just saying, hey, listen, if 10 guys want to sleep with you and you say no to all of them, that's 10 guys who did not contribute to your body count. But when you say yes to that one, it's one. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I was doing last week. So anyway, to land the plane, no, largely no. The facts, the data, the stats don't say or don't suggest that men are the one contributing to the high body count.
Dang. Well, this is I know this is going to be a little off of what we're talking about, but it still is what we're talking about. I want to ask you something. Why are these women doing that? Why are we converging to either a Pookie and Ray Ray or the high value? Right. Why is the middle, regular, everyday Joe not getting played? What is happening?
I am absolutely so glad you said that, because the guys in the middle, those are your passport bros. Right there.
Oh, I like
the guys in the middle. Like those are your passport bros right there. I'm so glad you put it that way. Okay. Now, to answer your question, they're converging on the Pookie and Ray Rays because the Pookie and Ray Rays have swag, they have game. That's why they get play. Okay? They have swag, they have game. They converging on the high value men, or high value Hebrew if you want to throw that in there, but on the high value men because they have substance. They have provision, they have leadership, they have the ideal, they're the ideal guy. There's so few of them, you know, it's only like 15% of them, the men even fit that idea, but they're the ideal guy. The Pookie and Ray Rays, they're fun, they got swag, they have danger to them, there's a little, you know, there's a little something there, you know, so that's why. The guys in the middle are they're lame, they're, you know, they're not exciting, you know, corny. It's boring. Yeah, they're gonna be about paying their bills and trying to figure out retirement plans and paying insurance. It's nothing. But that makes me
happy. I'm excited about hearing that. Paying bills.
Exactly.
I'm happy.
Exactly.
Exactly. That makes me happy. You know?
Yeah.
So I like how you swung. You know, I like.
Go ahead.
I like how you squeeze that in there. I like how I asked a question and then you said, so this is where we get our passport bros from. Like, yeah. I wasn't expecting that. So I think that was a thing for me. I think that was an issue for me too. I think from what the guy was saying last week that came on, he was kind of looking at it like, if everybody just says no, then nothing will be nothing. And, you know, in a perfect world, right, I think that we could say that with a lot of things. Like, we could use that on every playing field. Like, just don't do this or just don't do that and nothing would ever go wrong. Right. But when you're looking at the reality of the situation, which is the statistics, what you brought, and me, I love statistics because you can't argue with that. And even if you don't believe all of it, I tell people all the time, let's say you don't believe the statistics, look at your life. Look around you. Look at your friends, your sister, your mama, your cousin, and line it up with the statistics. And most likely it's going to fit perfect. So even if you don't believe the statistics, look around you. Look at the people at your job. Look at the people in your neighborhood. Look at your sister, your cousin, your brother. And most likely you're going to say, yeah, this does most likely sound like this is correct. So I'm glad that you brought that up. If anyone in the chat saw last week's show, this is your opportunity because we're going to spend about another 10 minutes talking about last week's show. So if y'all have any questions from last week that you guys feel like, you know what, I wanted to bring that up, type it in the chat and we'll definitely address you. Now, last week, we also were talking about the body count, which is similar to what we were saying, what we were talking about, controlling the body count. A woman is in charge of it, or not in charge of it, but she's in control of it. And based off of the statistics, we prove that she is in control of it, meaning if she has a high body count, she has no one but herself to blame. But this is my question to you. What do you say? Because we want to build here. That's what we try to do here. We don't want to tear down. We want to build. Sure. So truth is first. So we got the truth. The truth is out there. We know what the issue is now. What do you say to sisters who have created or manifested this high body count? Based off of the statistics you shown, choosing the Pookie and Ray Ray, et cetera, et cetera. And now they're trying to, this was my question last week, I didn't get to answer. I was getting a lot of people coming on, I saw a lot of people coming on Kevin Samuel's show saying, okay, I don't want to be intimate no more. I did that. I got children from different baby daddies. You know, I've been with this person, that person. I'm done. I am saving myself until I get married. And you've heard the Kevin Samuels and other people say, you know, so you're going to give it to all these Pookie and Ray Rays who abandoned you, but me, you want to try to act stingy. What would make me want to marry you with all these baby daddies and all these body counts? And I'm going to wait for it? I don't got time. I'm going to get that for somewhere else. What do you say to those women that's in that type of conundrum?
Yeah, well, one, I like the fact that you said it's a conundrum, because it is a conundrum, and there's not an easy answer. But I have a couple of answers there. One, some of them it's a wrap. Some of it is a wrap, okay? Because they won't adapt. Okay, so for those who won't adapt, it's a wrap. Now, for others, okay, they're gonna have to, instead of doubling down on the masculinity, doubling down on the aggression, they got to double down on their femininity. They have to double down on femininity and being, more cooperative. Because if you want to get a decent guy, I'm not even saying high value, I'm just saying decent. Because the guys in the middle, obviously, they figured it out. They figured it out. They say, you know what? Hey, I have options. I don't have to settle or put up with deal with any drama. I don't have to deal with anyone's trauma. I'm sorry about your trauma, but I don't have to bring it into my life, right? So they need to double down on the femininity. And then I'm gonna say something that's super duper radical. Okay, a lot of women are not gonna like it. I'm telling you right now, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Okay.
Disclaimer.
Disclaimer. Here's the thing. Some of them, the ones that are able, they need to give their children to the father. Period.
What?
Yeah. Here's the reason. Here's the reason why. It is a big ask for a woman that has a couple of children or a couple of baby daddies to ask a new guy, a decent guy, good guy, the guy you want, to take care of another man's seed. Now, again, hey, stepfather, I understand. Okay, I get it. But what I'm saying is that I was gonna say in this country, but I'm in Southeast Asia right now. But in the West, they treat it like it's no big deal. It's so normal. Okay, it's normal to be stepdaddy. It's normal to no. You're talking about a position that has no reward whatsoever. The woman wins, the child wins. They both get access to the protection, it's provision. It's a thankless job. Again, step parent. So what I'm saying is that you're asking a whole lot. Now, I know you're going to get pushed back because, and most of it will be emotional, even though they won't put it on that. They'll say, oh, well, the father is unfit, or, I can't find him, or any. You slept with them. You gave this guy your womb. And now you're the one saying that he's not fit to be a father. You gave him your womb. So I would say be careful of saying that. Be really careful, because the people, some of their sympathizers might be the way, yeah, I understand, because, the baby daddy ain't it, all that. But to me, that just does not make sense to a guy, because it's like, okay, he's not it, okay, but you slept with him maybe multiple times, or gave your womb to him maybe multiple times. I don't understand. So he's unfit. He's fit to put a baby in you, but he's not fit to take care of his child. I don't understand. The other thing is that you will be shocked at some men who would love to have their children. They rather you just give them the child, let them figure out all the baby, the child rearing and the child care and all that, rather than battling out in court. Okay, I've talked to countless and seen countless men. They have to battle it out in court. They would have to fight it out and stuff like that. So now, if you meet a guy, right, and you have children, and you say, okay, well, I have 2 children. They stay with their father. That kind of, they're his kids, because you can say, hey, they're his kids, they're his children. So I let him stay with his father. Now, again, I'm coming, from a Hebrew perspective, because they didn't play the stepdad role. They just didn't do that. If the father's dead, that's different. But they really just didn't do that. There's no redeeming quality. There's no parade. There's nothing, right? And then of course the all too familiar refrain would be like, well, it's its own reward. It's easy to say that when you're in a position where you benefit. If I get a guy, if I'm a woman, if I get a guy to come in, take care of me, take care of my children, of course the woman and the child wins. But what does the guy get? What does the guy get? He gets a lot of responsibility.
You ain't my daddy.
Exactly. He gets responsibility with no authority.
Don't discipline my child. That ain't your kid.
Exactly. And then if the relationship doesn't work out, all your resources was poured into that woman and poured into that children. You had all the responsibility, and accountability, but no authority. It's a thankless job. So The best solution, now I know most women won't do it, but the best solution is give the children to their father. Because now you're in a better, you got another tick mark in the dating market. You got a little bit better, because now the guy don't have to worry about, I don't have to worry about the children. They're with their father. Okay, cool. I can deal with her. You can go from there. So it's just a little bit better there. So some of them it's a wrap. Some of them they need to double down on their femininity and be cooperative. Okay, because I'm telling you right now, the guys who are coming overseas and coming to Thailand, going to countries in Africa, going to the Philippines, going to Colombia and South America, and getting this treatment and getting with women that don't have all this drama and don't have all these, don't have all these children or whatever, you got to compete. You got to compete. You got to bring something to this. I am the take. That doesn't work anymore. It's a wrap for that. That men walk away. I try to tell one young lady, I said, please quit saying, she was, well, I don't entertain anybody who tell me that, ask me what I bring to the table. I said, okay, that's cute. But what men hear, and this is your customer, right? What men hear is that you bring nothing. If you cannot quantify what you bring to the table, you bring nothing to the table. And if you have a nice little cute, little witty, halfway witty response of, well, I am the table or whatever. No, it doesn't work with guys at all. They're not moved. They're not impressed. It doesn't work. That is a red flag that says you bring nothing. Period. You bring nothing.
Well, the thing is, what you brought up, I'm gonna bring up 2 points. The first part you brought up about the father getting the kids. Believe it or not, if you see the comment that's up now, Entertain the Thought with Reese Robert, which is one of our co-hosts, by the way, she puts, a man definitely needs to have his son, and a daughter can visit her father when you're courting or entertaining a new life partner. So I want to focus on the first part. A man definitely needs to have his son. I've always told women this throughout my lifetime. When your son starts to get around the age of 11, 12 years old, when they start getting that little hair on their chest and they start feeling like a man, they need to be with their daddy. Like, that's it. They need to be with their daddy. You have done what you could do. You have done your best. You have tried hard, and you have put in a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. And I congratulate you, sister. But you need to get that boy to his daddy. Let him have his son, because he's going to be able to teach him how to deal with other men, how to handle handle the world, because how the world treats me and how the world treats a male, it's not the same. I can only tell you from my perspective and what I see. I see them do this to men, but I can never say, okay, yes, this is how it is. I just haven't experienced the same issues and things like that. So I've always been an advocate of that. I never thought of packing the whole kids up and sending them away, but I did think about it. I did think about the son. I was like, let his butt go. Girl, you done. He bigger than you. He's stronger than you. He done got testosterone in him. Girl, you can't do that to this boy. What you gonna do to him? He's like 6'2". Like, what is you gonna do? Give him to his daddy. Like, so I definitely agree on that point. Now, women that say things like, I am the table, or they say things like, they get mad when you don't want to answer, what do you bring to the table? I've never, and I'm almost 40. This is new. I've never remember in my lifetime, when I was in my youth, when I was at my prime, I don't never remember no man saying to me, what you bring to the table? Asking me no questions like that. I don't remember that. I've never heard of this. This is like crazy. Like, I didn't know. I just thought I had it. This is crazy to me. So what I want to ask you is, what brought this on? Is this always been there? Because I don't remember this.
Well, you know what? It's been there, but it's been under the surface. But I'm gonna tell you why. There used to be a time where a guy could see what a woman brought to the table. He can kind of see it because she presented that. He does it because guess what? These same guys, they don't ask this of foreign women. They don't even ask that question. What do you bring to? They get to see it. It's on display. She's affectionate. She's soft. She's feminine. She's cooking. She's cleaning. She's catering to him, and he's taking care of her. He's taking care of the bill. He's paying the bill. She's taking care of him. he's taking care of her and the financial issues or anything while he's overseas. He see the exchange. What happened was you have over the last few decades, but lately you have social media and stuff like that, and everything is kind of just over sexualized. So the obvious part is, okay, well, we can sleep together, but guys saying what else? Okay, because obviously, if you with a woman, natural woman, of course she has that, between her thighs and all that. But a guy's asking a female, what do you bring to the table? Because he's saying, I don't see anything else. What else is there? Okay. And so that, because they're putting out either their sexuality or the things that make men attractive to women. They'll say, oh, I have remember last week in the last show, I have my own car, I have my own house, I have a degree, I make my own money, blah, blah, blah. Nothing that a guy cares about. So he's still wondering, the question is still not answered. What do you bring to the table? Because I'm not looking for a strong, independent woman with this big time degree or whatever. I don't need that, because that doesn't do anything for me. That does nothing for me. Okay. So what else you got? You know what I'm saying? So that's really what happened is it just because it's been buried. It's just been buried. It's been hiding behind, Instagram poses and, and twerking and just all kinds of things like that. And guys just wondering, they're trying to pull back the veil and like, okay, great. Okay. You can twerk. Okay. Whoop-de-doo. What else? What else you got? You know what I'm saying? Guys are just kind of elevating, it's more than that. And think about it this way. If it was just about the physical, you don't have to get on a plane to get physical. Just whip out some money, right?
Yeah, this is true. But it's a question up here. It says, and I've heard women say things like this before. They say, if you don't know what I bring to the table, why are you in my face? I've heard women say things like, you should already know what I offer, what I bring. And they kind of use that in a sense of like, you're not paying attention. I'm not saying that's what this sister is saying, but I've heard other YouTubers and other people say like, okay, so how you don't know what I bring to the table? Why you even asking me that? Asking that question, I've heard women say, is kind of insulting, not just insulting, but it's like, what have we been doing this whole time? I had a woman say, we've been dating for a while now, and you want to ask me what I bring to the table? Like, you don't know what I bring to the table? So what you say to that question?
I understand. So it's kind of two questions, right? One question is like, we've been dating for a little while. What do you mean you don't know what we bring to the table? And then the other side is, we just met, right? So if I start with it, we just met. If we just met, how would I know what you bring to the table? If we just get together on a coffee date, first time, how would any man know? We don't know. We have to sit there and talk, have a conversation. What do you see in your future? Whatever. What do you want? Are you interested in marriage? Are you interested in having children? Where are you interested in living? Things like that. But that's what we're there for in an initial meeting, our initial date. We're there to find out what you are about. Just like a woman is there to find out what a man is about. But guess what? She finds out really, really quick. Why? What do you do? First of all, physically, she's looking at him. Okay, how tall is he? Is he at least taller than me? Okay, is he in shape? Does he take care of himself? That kind of thing. Okay, what does he do for a living? She might not pinpoint exactly, how much money he makes, but by the fact that she's asking, well, what does he do for a living? She's trying to assess how much money he makes. Is he a provider? Through the course of a conversation, she's going to find out, does he have leadership, skills? Is he intelligent? And she learns that through the conversation itself. Those kinds of things. So she's getting answers to her questions, right? So now the guy is trying to get answers to his questions. Okay. He's looking for support from the Hebrew side and help me. How can she complement what I am doing? If I am building something, how can she complement that piece? Okay. And not be a headache. I don't want to come home to a headache. I don't want to come home, but I got to find that out. I don't know. And here's the funny thing is, the women, it seems to me, just for what I've seen, it seems to me the women who say things like that, and I'm not talking about the host there. I know she's just posing the question, but who say things like that have no idea what they bring to the table, because I don't understand, and guys don't really understand, like, How is that one of the toughest questions in the world? How is that if you know what you bring to the table? Because the women who have something to offer men or know what men want, they can easily just rattle it off. They say, well, I was kind of raised with traditional values, or I wasn't raised with traditional values, but I believe in traditional values. I believe in, my husband is is the head of the household. He's a protector. He's a provider. He's the leader. I believe that, sometimes the world beats him up. I think I need to recharge him, stuff like that. I would love to have a family. I would love to have, children for my husband, that type of thing. And I hope, and we can just build a strong nuclear family. I believe in just being together, family, and things like that. So when guys hear stuff like that, he's like, okay, this is a keeper. This is wife material. This is what they're waiting to hear. So if the woman can't say that, okay, I think guys need to ask questions like that. They have to ask questions like, you know why? Because men, if they're the gatekeepers to commitment in marriage, this is a huge investment to bring a woman in your life. Okay, so if I have a great income, I have a 6-figure income, I'm doing pretty good, I'm okay with or without the woman, right? So she wants to come into my program. I need to see if she's going to complement and enhance that. I don't need help spending my money. I don't need help doing that. Okay, so and I don't need to spend money on a dress and purses and makeup and all that. All that, my life is complete without having to spend money on that. So she has to be worth that. And so the last show, what we were talking about, remember I said I really don't think there's high value women per se. I think there's high quality women, because women are born with their value and they have to preserve it. They have to preserve that value. Be chaste, be modest, be traditional. These are the type of women that guys want to marry. These are the ones these are the type of women that men take off the market, if you will.
So I understand everything you said. So I want to make sure I get this right. So when a guy is initially courting this young lady, getting to know this young lady, you're saying that this question needs to be asked, so that way you know what you're investing in. But if a guy, let's say a guy was dating a woman for 6 months, do you think that would be an appropriate question, or do you think he should have already established his answer and made a choice whether to stay or go?
He shouldn't. If you're talking about 6 months in, he should know. He should know by then. Yeah.
But if he did ask, 6 months in, and the woman was to get offended and say, yo, wait a minute, we've been dating this whole time, how you don't know what I bring to the table, would that be an incorrect reaction on her part? Or you still think she's overreacting, or do you give her a little bit more space as, you know what, 6 months, like, what's your stance on that? And then she made a response to what you said. And by the way, Reese, you coming on, girl, don't worry, we bringing people in. It's a time, okay? The show is timed, all right? But we gonna get y'all in, don't worry.
Okay, so to answer your question, I'm gonna say that depends, but to give you a clear answer, the reason why I say it depends is that if she's actually been displaying that, or like saying some of the things that I just said, she's like this, she's traditional, she want to be married, children, and all that other stuff, build a life and all that other stuff, then yeah, it's offensive for him to ask that, because she answered the question for the past 6 months if they've been dating. She's answered that question. She said, hey, so yeah, that's on him if he has not been paying attention, because he should be looking for wife material, because the guy's going to put a woman in a category in his brain. Same thing as a woman. She's going to put him, he's going to put her in a category. Is this entertainment purposes only, or is this marriage material? Now, again, I don't advocate entertainment purposes only. I don't advocate that. I'm just saying it's what people do, right? So either he's like, okay, this is going to be something long, this is for right now, or this is going to be long term, right? So during that 6 months, he needs to be paying attention, asking penetrating questions like that, right? Even if it's not as direct as what do you bring to the table, he needs to be asking questions that kind of goes along with that. But at the same time, when a man's vetting, a woman should be vetting a man too. At the same time, they should be vetting.
Like I said, for me, I ain't never heard of this when I was out there dating. Man asked me that. So right. I'm not gonna lie. I would like to believe that I would be able to handle it. Like, oh, so this is what I bring to the table. I would like to believe that I would, but I gotta be honest. The way that I was raised, the culture that I'm in, it wasn't until I got married in years and got older that I started realizing, oh snap, okay, I'm starting to realize, learn things. So I believe that I might have been one of them women that was like, what you mean? I am the table, right? I might have been one of those women. I hate to say it, but it's true. Not that I'm saying we should be saying that now, because we got to work together, right? But I might have been one of the women in my youth that might have said that. Now we're going to answer one more thing that Reese said, and then we're going to go ahead and get into the topic of the show, because we are at the 8:36 mark. So what she add additionally, I don't know if you can see it, because remember what you said. You were like, look, you're vetting her, you're courting her, you're trying to figure out, is this wifey material? What category I'm going to put her in? But what she's saying is, you're looking at me for the wrong reasons if you didn't choose me for a reason. What made you ask me to spend precious time with you? So she's saying a date should be intentional. So what she's saying is, basically in a nutshell, if you don't see wifey materials in me initially to the point where you have to ask me that, why are you even asking me to go out?
Understood. But see, we need a time frame there. Again, if this is a first date, I see you somewhere. Hey, how you doing? We exchange information. Let's go out on a date. I don't know that you're wife material. I don't know that in the beginning. How can I know that?
So then why did you ask? Did you ask clearly on physicality? Like, why did you ask her out?
That's why a man asked initially anyway. You don't know it. Okay, if you see a woman across the room, you don't know her. All you have is the physical. All you just see her. That's the initial attraction. The initial physical attraction. Like, okay, she looks great. I like her hair. I like her face. I like her body. Whatever. I'm gonna ask her for a date. That's all you know. That's all you know on the first time you meet someone. When you go on a date, you get to know more, and that is intentional. The intention is to get to know you. That's the intention. Let me get to know you. Is she wife? When I get to know you, in your mind, you're thinking, or the guy, he's thinking, okay, is she wife material or not? Okay, talking about a decent guy. If you have the average guy and he's just trying to be physical or whatever, then that's his intention. His intention is hopefully he can be physical. But I'm just saying, the whole thing of why do you ask? How will I know a woman I've never met before, and all I can see is how physically attractive she is, because we haven't said a word to each other. We have exchanged no words. So I don't know if she's wife material, girlfriend material. I don't know. I have no idea. I won't know until I ask her out on a date, we go on the date, and we start talking. That's the only way I'm going to know. So the intention is to get to know them initially.
Okay, so I've heard men say before on a podcast, this brother said, I can't remember the name of the podcast. He said, if I'm asking you that's a good thing. That's what a guy said. He said, again, like I said, I'm married now, so it's like, he bought the table, so I don't even know.
Yeah.
But for the people out there, this is something that's very contentious when you start asking these type of questions. They don't like that. But again, you guys, we are going to bring you guys up. So all y'all in there, y'all fired up. Y'all stay for like another about 30 minutes. We're about 30, 45 minutes. We're going to start bringing people up when Robert Reed is ready. And we'll go from there. With that being said, let's get into the topic of the show. Like, I'm excited because I got some videos for you tonight.
Let's do it.
So Passport Bros versus Modern Women. What does that mean? Explain to me, what does it mean, Passport Bros versus Modern Women?
Well, I like the title. Well, that is basically the first part of this show, when you was talking about the Pukinereres and you talk about the high value men, then we're talking about the in-between, right? And typically Passport Bros are upwardly mobile guys. This is middle class, $50,000, $60,000, $75,000, $80,000, $90,000 a year type guys. They've been obviously demonized almost just for exercising options, just for just for traveling, which I don't understand. I don't get, because they were told for the most of them, you know, we don't want you, we don't need you, go somewhere else, that kind of thing. But also, many of them, they did not have issues with getting dates in America. They just didn't like what they were getting. They didn't like the results. They didn't like what they were getting. People kept saying that, you know, keep thinking that it's people that cannot get a date, or women absolutely do not want them, right? That's not necessarily true. It's just they don't like what they get. They don't like the results that they're getting. They can get a date, but if I go spend $600, $700, $800, you know, on a date, and guys are cost benefit analysis, right? They're thinking, okay, is this worth it? Okay, is this worth it? Does this person have substance? Was it worth me spending $500 or $600 on this date for this woman? And so, you know, anyway, the passport bros versus, you know, modern women is that, unfortunately, you got people like, you know, Kevin Samuels and Andrew Tate and others. They pull back the veil, you know, on modern dating. They just pull back the veil, and now guys are just waking up, and they're saying, you know what, I'm worth more than this. I don't have to just be happy and content with just any type of attitude or any type of treatment, or outright being ignored. You know, these are the guys, you know, that's kind of in the middle, but a lot of them do very well financially. They do very well financially. And then the whole movement itself, Passport Bro, the whole movement itself is actually empowerment. When you look at most of them, most of the guys are saying, you know, become the best version of yourself. Look at all the podcasts that say this. Become the best version of yourself, work on yourself, self-improvement, you know, all that. Stack your chips, stack your money, get in the States, go monk mode, you know, don't just work and work out, okay? Improve your mind, all that other stuff, you know, and then go out to another country and, you know, and exercise your options there, you know, and do that. So now on the modern woman side is that you see a lot of videos of them saying, hey, we don't care, but there's more videos coming out every single day with them saying they don't care. So I don't get it. It's very, very confusing. And I think it's the implications. You know, the implications is, you know, the pool, the well is going to run dry, you know, as far as available men, you know, so.
Yeah, it's already a shortage from what I heard.
Yeah.
I heard it's a shortage, that the trees ain't bearing that much fruit. But my question to you is there a wrong and a right way to be a passport bro?
Absolutely. 100%.
So give me some examples of a wrong way and a right way. The wrong way first, and then tell us the right way.
The wrong way, there's a couple of wrong ways. The wrong way is getting a little bit of money and deciding to travel and go broke. That's because you're not ready. Okay. At that point, the guy's not ready. 2 is going out there. Going out traveling and all you want to do is, I guess, just sleep around or whatever. That's just an individual, you know. They try to throw mud on the movement, the dirt on the movement, because they think it's all courteous tourism. Okay, I know there's like censorship with certain words and things, and it's not that, you know, it's not that at all. I guess I'll put it like this here. The wrong way is being a passport pookie. Okay, you're the same guy in the States. And you're going out there bringing your pookie ways, your pookie swag, and your pookie, you know, all that to another country. What
about Ray Ray? You just talked about Pookie. Is Ray Ray coming? Or Ray Ray staying in the States?
Pookie just you don't have to do that. Yeah, you don't have to do that. That's the wrong way. Let me give a short answer. Yeah, being a passport Pookie or Ray Ray is the wrong way of doing it. It's because it's not, you know, you're not increasing your value. You're not bettering yourself. That's the wrong way. If it's not about bettering yourself, if it's not about getting into these other countries, learning other cultures, picking up new languages, things like that, and also looking for your potential wife. I mean, you might have to date a few people to find out, but eventually dating and finding your potential wife, then, I mean, you know, you're doing it all wrong. You're doing it all wrong if you're not ready and you're not improving yourself. You're not bettering yourself. And remember, not everyone who says, hey, there's a passport bro, is a passport bro, because some of them are just jumping on the movement because, you know, they think it's cool, it's cute and all that, you know. So not all of them, it's not all the same. The right way is, which I've already, you know, kind of alluded to, is in being a actual better person, actually being the best version of yourself, actually educating yourself, actually expanding your mind, getting into these cultures, getting into these other languages, investing, get into these other countries where your dollar is stronger and you have some investment opportunities. That's how you become a high value Hebrew. That's how you become, when you bring your morality with you, you're a high value Hebrew, but that's how you become a high value man. When you're doing all those other things, you know, finding a woman that's extra. That's like, okay, great. You know, okay, that's wonderful, but you should already be on your grind. You should already be working on, if you're not already there, being upwardly mobile. You should be working on that, becoming the absolute best version of you. That's the right way of doing it. Not just, you know, partying. You know, you can party, that's fine. You know, I'm not policing anyone's behavior, but you know, you can party, but that well is going to run dry real quick. But if you're stacking your chips and you're investing and you're buying condos and starting restaurants, I've seen a lot of Passport Bros, Black owned or American owned restaurant in Thailand, Colombia, Brazil, all of that. They are making moves, making money. A lot of men are networking together. A lot of the brothers are banding together. When they see each other, boom, they sit down, they talk shop, they talk business. They get it done. You know, finding women, that's just extra.
So what do you say to the modern women now? Because if this trend continues to go if you're looking for a brother, between the ones that are in jail, too old, too young, married, you know, they don't like the same, you know, they like the same parts they got, you know, I don't want to say it on YouTube.
Right.
Your options are slim. And now you got these brothers catching planes and they out. They like, I'm out of here. What is the state for the modern woman? What are we looking at if we continue on this trajectory that we're going? We continue on this road that we're going. What does this look like? And what would your advice be to these modern women?
You know, it's funny you should mention that. There's an article and a study out right now. You may have seen it, and I'm sure some people who are watching this right now, they're gonna harken back to it and be like, oh yeah. But there's a study going on. There's a study that's out right now. Who wrote that study? I'll get back to you on it. But anyway, there's a study going out. They said by 2030, that's 8 years from now. Okay, 7 years from now. They said by 2030, 45% of the women in the West will be unmarried and no children. That is the trend right now. So much so to JP Morgan right now, they're making investments in pet foods, wine, and things like that. They're making these investments, right? Now, here's the thing. The killing part about it is that if some of the modern women, if they can't get past their ego, and what I mean is that they don't hold the cards. Meaning, if you have guys out there and they have their passports and they know that they can go somewhere else for their options. I mean, what leverage do they have? What leverage do you have to double down on being, you know, mean or masculine or have this attitude of being uncooperative or being strong, independent, and all that? Okay, you're saying you don't need them, so what's the problem? You're good. You're happy. You know what I mean? What did Kevin Samuel say? You know, hey, buy a cat, buy a dog, die alone. Okay, it's up to you. That's fine. Don't get me wrong. I know some women want to be alone. They want to be independent. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. But for those who do not, you got to understand. You don't hold the cards for the guys. He can choose. He can have what he can go and choose elsewhere. He can go overseas. He can bring his resources anywhere else. He does not have to settle right here. So the question again becomes, what is the leverage? You can't say, oh, well, if we want to put color to it, say, okay, well, if you want to have black babies, that's not true. That's not true. There's a lot of African women who would love to, that would beg to differ. I could have black babies with an African woman. I can have black baby with an Afro-Colombian. I can have Afro-Brazilian. I can go to the DR. I can have black babies. So that you don't have that leverage. So I'm trying to figure out, what is the leverage? So
don't ask me. I'm married. I don't know. I don't know what leverage. I don't know.
Humility.
Y'all in the comment section. What leverage do y'all got? What is this? I'm guessing he's not gonna answer her question. Which question are you talking about? Which question?
Yeah, which question?
I don't know what you're talking about. Jay, tell us which question. Type it in and we'll answer. We're answering all the questions. Matter of fact.
Yeah, type
soon we're gonna put in the link.
Which question you're talking
so type in the question and we would love to see what you're talking about and we'll answer that. Everyone who's on everyone that's in here right now, you guys like, subscribe, share. Come on, y'all, take y'all little finger and just press that button. Do it with me. We're gonna do it together. 1, 2, 3. Press. There you go. Good job. Thank you. Anyone who's in Debate Talk for You, you guys got about 10 minutes. 10 minutes, and we're going into the overtime portion, like Sal always says. It's overtime. So if you want to hear the overtime show, you need to like and subscribe on Sal's page. If you're not, show some support and love to him. His Cash App is right down there. Sal Showtime. Go show him some love for giving us his platform to be able to get our message out. And then y'all gonna go ahead and type in Let's Talk Podcast 55 and come over here for the overtime portion, because we about to get it in. We about to bring people up and everything. So y'all go ahead, wrap it up over that Debate Talk for You, and y'all come on over here and Let's Talk Podcast 55. Type that in, look for the purple logo, and hit the live video and come on back into the room. With that being said, let's see if the question came up. Yeah, no, I don't see no question. So if the question comes, we'll hit it. If anything, we'll stick the link in soon, and then we'll... Oh, here it is. Oh, what is the modern woman to do if guys leave the country?
Oh, okay.
That's the question. Okay, that's the question.
Fair enough, Jay. Okay, let's jump right in there. What is the modern woman to do? There's a couple things. You got to realize, Jay, that some of them, not all of them, some of the women, they're some of the modern women. I always differentiate between traditional women and modern women, okay? So we're talking about the modern women. The modern women, you got to understand, some of them will not humble themselves, period, okay? They talk about that like in Isaiah chapter 3, and we know what comes after that, Isaiah chapter 4 and 1, right? So, but what are they to do? To humble themselves and realize they don't have the leverage. They don't. They have to humble themselves, and they have to say, you know what? What is it? Now, to answer your question directly, what is it, though? They have to ask themselves, what is it that these other women from these other countries are offering that I'm not offering? Figure that out and then offer that. That's what they have to do, Jay. That's what they have to do. They have to figure out, okay, this man is willing to go 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 miles around the world to meet a woman. I'm right here in his backyard. So what is it that they have that I don't have? What is that she's offering that I don't? Wait a minute. I'm educated. I make my own money. I have my own car. I have all of... Okay, and he's still leaving. Then obviously that's not what he wants. That's not what the guy wants. So you have to figure out, what is it about these other women? Okay, talking about the modern woman. She has to figure out, what is it about the other women that these men are willing to get on planes to go meet them and do that. That's what she has to do.
Now, what about the traditional woman? That's what he's saying. Now, I think what he means by this is, I saw some videos with women coming out, and this is what the women are saying. They're saying they're going out to clubs and they're going out to parties, and men are not approaching them. And they're actually getting mad at women and saying, what y'all done did? These men don't want to talk to us. I'm submissive. I'm all the things he like. But they won't even talk to me. What do you say to the traditional women who are kind of just blowing in the wind because they're getting, I guess, drowned by the modern women rhetoric, so to speak?
I couldn't agree with you more with the way you phrase it. They are getting drowned out. So one, don't do what modern women do. Okay. You can't hang out where they hang out. You can't do what they do. Don't make the type of decisions that they make, and stand out, stand strong, because you're going to be called a pick me, which really means nothing, which you want to be picked to be a wife anyway. So don't do what they do, and you stand out. And then traditional women need to hang out with traditional women. Okay. If we go with, you know, our sister Crimson Cure, you know, lionesses don't hang out with hyenas. Okay, so they have to be, they have to stand out. Okay, guys have to be able to see that. Okay, so you have to move different, move in different circles, and keep your traditional values strong. And then call out hyenas. You know, if you need to call that out, because then now guys are seeing that. Guys see things in the chat. Guys see those type of things. Because we see a whole lot of videos where the hyenas are talking. Okay, they're talking. You know, deleting black babies and stuff, particularly if they're males and all that. We see all that, but we need to see the women who don't stand for that. We need to see the women who are not saying, oh, we don't need men, or men ain't it. You know, men ain't sugar, honey, iced tea. We need to see that. Got to stand out from the other women. That is to say, the modern women. Got to stand out from that.
Yeah. Okay. So that, I hope you answer your question, Jay. We're about to leave Debate Talk for you in 4 minutes. 4 minutes. Now, I got a couple of let's see what else we got going on in here. Okay, yeah, we got to him. So what I wanted to do was, before we move on to the questionnaire, do you want to add anything else to the conversation? Because the questions are going to go into what we're talking about, but I don't know if you want to hit any more points before we move on to some of these questions that women have, modern women have, regarding Passport Bros.
No, because I think our next segment, I think we're gonna jump into it, and I don't want to get ahead of myself.
Yeah, no, don't give it all away now. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not giving all of it away. We just hold them back just a little. So now this is what we're gonna do, you guys. So Debate Talk for you. We're gonna close you guys out. If y'all want to be at the overtime portion, I'll put it in the chat. Hit that link. Show Sal some love. Come on over here to Let's Talk Podcast 55. We're gonna close it out right now. And then we're going to get to the questionnaire. We got some video questions with some modern women. So we're going to go